Imagine a picturesque Polish town, seemingly serene, where a murder mystery writer seeks inspiration, only to stumble upon a horrifying truth that echoes a personal tragedy. Beneath the calm surface of Trulocz, a darkness festers, a legacy of abuse, corruption, and a terrifying local legend that has now claimed an innocent child. Prepare yourselves for a deep dive into the Mire of Trulocz, a chilling tale where the past is never truly buried. Welcome back, cinematic explorers, to our channel, where we unravel the most complex and gripping movie plots. Thank you for joining us today for the full explanation of the Mire of Trulocz. Our story begins with Julia Sarman, a successful murder mystery writer, who has just bought a house on the lake in the small, tight-knit community of Trulocz. She's moving in with her young son, Piotrusz, hoping for a fresh start. During her welcome, Julia meets local prosecutor Elżbieta Pakash and her quiet son, Michael. Right away, small-town gossip paints Julia as the murder mystery writer who bought a house on the lake. Meanwhile, Leopold Bilski, a prosecutor from out of town, is pursuing a cold case, the disappearance of a boy named Adam Poznański 2 years prior. Leopold's buddy discovers Adam's missing person report isn't in the provincial system, raising immediate red flags about a potential cover-up in Trulocz. Chief Adamczyk dismisses the inquiry, claiming Adam's mother is an idiot who simply forgot where her son was, hastily closing the case. Leopold is told to fuck off by the chief when he tries to locate the original file. Julia visits Adam's mother, Irina Poznańska, who lives in a new, suspiciously large house for her meager income, claiming she has 4 kids. When asked about Adam, Irina becomes evasive, first saying he's with cousins far away, and then that she lost the address and doesn't remember their names. Julia also has a strained relationship with her own mother, who makes a passing remark about her past in Trulocz. Later, Julia runs into Patrick Dexter, an old high school acquaintance and a successful artist, who remembers her as Julia Burchard. Piotrusz questions why they don't visit his grandmother, hinting at a deep-seated family estrangement. Piotrusz expresses how much he misses his deceased father, adding another layer of vulnerability to their new life. At a local festival, Leopold is seen with his daughter Monica, who lives with his ex-wife in Warsaw. He admits he's kinda bored in Trulocz, highlighting the stagnant nature of the town's law enforcement. Julia encounters a man with a disfigured face at a shooting range, who yells, "She did this to me, you know," further hinting at her past in Trulocz. During Mayor Fabiola's speech at the festival, it's revealed that Julia Burchard is, in fact, the mayor's long-lost daughter. Marek Chinaki, a prominent businessman, announces a scholarship in his late father's name. The disfigured man, Eric Filipak, later tells police that Julia, the bitch, was responsible for his injuries in high school. He recounts how Julia and her friends beat him up and left him by a bonfire, scarring his face. Leopold interviews Filipak, a former church organist and choir leader, who confirms Adam Poznański was their best alto but never returned after going missing. Tragedy strikes when Piotrusz disappears from the festival, and a frantic Julia screams, "They kill children here, Leopold." Julia reveals a horrific detail from her past: her sister committed suicide in Trulocz when they were children. The search for Piotrusz takes a dark turn when child remains are found in the woods, confirmed to be those of Adam Poznański. Julia, in a moment of trauma, confesses that as a child, she witnessed a man sexually abusing a boy in the church choir. She identifies the victim as Michael Pakash, her boss's son, immediately implicating the prosecutor's family. Amidst this chaos, Leopold momentarily loses his own daughter, Monica, at a restaurant, triggering his parental fears. A woman at the fair, Basha, returns Monica to Leopold, warning him about children running away and the missing boy in town. Leopold, now shaken, calls his ex-wife to pick up Monica, stating it's not safe here for their daughter. Leopold presses the restaurant owner, who was also in the choir, about molestation rumors. The pathologist's report on Adam's body reveals disturbing details: severe head trauma, the head, removed post-mortem, with a blade, and placed, between the legs. This horrific detail immediately links to a local Kashubian legend of the Lopi, a vampire that rises from the dead, whose curse is prevented by decapitation and reburial with the head between the legs. The former organist, Philippak, was once attacked in a cemetery after midnight, surprising someone digging up a grave, describing a body arranged like a Lopi. Chief Adonchik adamantly tries to shut down Leopold's investigation into the church choir. Father Wojciech, the current priest, feigns poor memory when questioned by Leopold about Adam and Julia Burchard. He dismisses Julia's molestation claims, insisting such things didn't happen in our parish. Leopold's assistant discovers that Trulocz has almost no crime records involving minors for 2 decades, indicating someone is actively hiding things. Leopold uncovers a massive financial connection. All expenses for the Poznański family and the presbytery are funded by a huge foundation set up by Marek Czenaki's father. Julia confirms that the boy she saw being molested was indeed Michael Pakash. Leopold raids Marek Czenaki's house, finding a hidden basement full of computers and files. Among the discoveries is child pornography, with pictures dating back 2 decades, confirming Czenaki's deceased father was a pedophile. Marek Czenaki, caught in the act, reluctantly admits the pictures belonged to my father. Leopold, now suspecting a massive cover-up, suspends Chief Adonchik, believing he was protecting the Czenakis. A profiler uses the discovered photos to identify victims. Julia's sister, Angelica Burchard, is identified, adding another layer of trauma to Julia's past. Patrick Dexter, Julia's high school friend, is also identified as a victim of Czenaki's father. The scarred man from the festival, Erek Philippak, is also identified, explaining his intense hatred for Julia. And confirming Julia's memory, Michael Pakash, is also among the victims. In a harrowing moment, Julia's own mother is forced to identify herself in a picture as a child victim of Czenaki's father. This reveal confirms that Julia's entire family was entangled in Czenaki's web of abuse, and explains her mother's strained behavior. Erek Philippak confesses to Leopold that Czenaki's father threatened him, and later paid for his surgeries to cover up the original incident. Patrick Dexter explains that the organist, Philippak, would send children to the back room where Czenaki abused them, suggesting Philippak knew or at least enabled the abuse. Julia's mother reveals she kept silent because she worked for Czenaki, fearing she'd lose her paycheck. A profiler is brought in, concluding that the perpetrator is likely a serial killer operating in the early stages of psychosis, influenced by the Lopi superstition. The killer is described as a male, 30 to 40 years old, a Kashup, who experienced trauma, and is mentally unstable. Julia suddenly remembers a conversation in a restaurant about Pietrus being born with a caul, a key element of the Lopi legend. She realizes that guy with the dog, who broke a plate and later guarded the bouncy castle at the fair, overheard this detail. The man with the dog is identified as Nikki, and the woman who returned Monica at the fair, Basha, is his mother. Police raid Nikki's house, finding signs of recent activity in the basement. Pietrus is found alive and rescued, bringing a moment of relief to the harrowing investigation. Nikki confesses that Adam Poznański's death was an accident, and Chief Adonchik helped cover it up, with Nikki hiding the body. The motive is revealed. Nikki's mother, Basha, was abused by old Czenaki, conceived Nikki at 14, and later committed suicide in front of her son. Leopold orders a search of Adamczyk's residence, but then a shocking realization hits him. He discovers Adam's case file wasn't destroyed but was intentionally hidden in a non-criminal register within their own prosecutor's office, implying an internal cover-up. Leopold confronts his boss, prosecutor Elżbieta Pakash, accusing her of hiding the file. She denies it, but Leopold's evidence is clear: the file was hidden by you. Pakash then admits to covering for Czenaki, stating, "I didn't know he molested my son and the others," a devastating confession from a mother and a prosecutor. The Mire of Trulocz leaves us with a disturbing truth: the deepest evils are often hidden in plain sight, protected by those sworn to uphold justice. What do you think about the shocking twists and the tragic cycle of abuse and cover-up in this film? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this detailed explanation, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more movie recaps and analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.